And finishing out the prelims with Derek Brunson against Dricus du Plessis. This is a hell of a fight. And if you've been on my channel, you know that I like to bet on Derek Brunson. We kind of rode him a long way through that upset streak he had, and we won quite a bit of good money for him. So I got a bit of a soft spot for Brunson in terms of betting wise, and he's won me some money. So, but when you look at this fight, I think that you have to go Brunson or pass here again. I mean, a lot of people are on du Plessis, and they're thinking he's like a lock, and I'm going to pick him as a pick just because he's 10 years younger than Derek Brunson. He's hungry. He's in his prime. He is on a long win streak. Brunson's coming off that knockout loss. Who knows where his head's at after he had his long title run kind of halted there by Jared Cannonier. He hasn't fought in quite a while. But Brunson, one thing I do know is he was talking about retirement. Now he's kind of backtracked on that, said he's feeling better than ever, and he's going to go on another run here to try to get the belt. So it seems like he's gotten some renowned motivation. Maybe he saw Pereira win that title and said, hey, I could take this guy down, so I'm going to try to get back in the game here. And Dricus du Plessis, he obviously is undefeated so far in the UFC. If this is a big step up, I mean, he did beat Brad Tavares, he beat Darren Till, but Derek Brunson's on another level in comparison to those guys. We saw what Derek Brunson did to those fighters when he fought them. So it's going to be a tough test. And when you look at just the matchup from your pure matchup perspective, why I say I think Derek Brunson has to be the side is Dricus du Plessis has only been had to defend 2 takedown attempts in his entire UFC career. Darren Till took him down, and then I believe it was Brad Tavares that attempted 1 takedown, or maybe it was someone else, but some other fighter that he faced attempted 1 takedown and went 0 for 1. So he's 1 for 2 on takedown defense in the UFC. And if you go look at his other fights pre-UFC, if you watch his fight with Garrett McClellan, which granted it was in 2014, he got taken down multiple times per round in that fight, eventually got submitted in the third. You watch his fight with Joyton Luderbach, that was 2019. He got taken out multiple times in the first round before eventually in the second he used a guillotine to reverse, get on top, and then finish the fight. And so you do see certain fights where his takedown defense just looks not the best, and he hasn't really faced a lot of grapplers or wrestlers or people that try to take him down. And you know with Derek Brunson, man, this guy is an elite wrestler. If you look at his last 6 fights, he's taken on all 6 opponents either 2 times or more. And I think he's taken on 5 out of 6, 3 or more times. So the guy's really good at taking you down, holding you down. And du Plessis, he's good at getting back up to his feet after he's taken down, but he's never fought someone with the top control of Derek Brunson or the strength and the size and all that mixed in with the wrestling ability. So I don't know. Not many guys that I see are able to stand up from under Derek Brunson when he takes him down. So that's something that, if you get taken down, you kind of have to say that Brunson wins that round, especially if it's early. So du Plessis, I think, has to rely once again on a finish to get the win here. And he seems to do that in a lot of his fights. He's winning until he's losing, and then he finishes you off and just kind of has that real awkward style where he's real hands high. He kind of will allow guys to really pressure him, get inside, clip him. His defense isn't the best, but it seems like he's almost trying to just goad you in, and then eventually he's going to land that check hook, man, and knock you out or land a big counter punch and hurt you and then get you in that guillotine. And he just has an ability to catch the finish. Very opportunistic guy. His last fight with Darren Till, I think it's kind of an anomaly of a fight in terms of what you're going to see in his UFC career, because Darren Till is not an 85er. He's someone that has pretty bad takedown defense, and just the point in his career he was in when he fought du Plessis was probably the lowest he's ever been. And du Plessis went in there, took him down at will, beat him up on the ground, where I think most of his fights he's not going to be that dominant. He's not going to be able to have a grappling advantage like that, especially not in this fight. It's going to be more of him either knocking you out or catching you in a submission for him to win, I believe, against this higher level opposition. But Derek Brunson, we got a guy that we all know his style. He's fought forever now. Early in fights and earlier in his career, he used to blitz through guys, come forward, throw hammers, and knock you guys out early. I think he had a streak where he had 5 or 6 first-round knockouts in a row, which is pretty incredible and just shows that even though he hasn't gotten a knockout in a while, he has that power, he has that ability to close the distance to touch your chin. And du Plessis kind of has weird, bad defense at times. He can get touched, and Brunson has shown that ability to put your lights out, even though he hasn't done it in quite a while. But Brunson, his chin is a little suspect, his defense is suspect, he gets real sloppy on the feet, leaves openings, gets clipped, and if you get clipped against du Plessis, it could be one punch all you need, and you're losing the fight, man. You're going out. So Brunson it's hard for me to see him not get clipped in this fight, not get finished. I just feel like it's almost inevitable that he's going to be winning the fight and then he's going to get touched and get taken out. So I kind of want to lean towards Brunson. I feel like he can get the wrestling, he can get that top control going and get Du Plessis tired, who I don't think is necessarily, a guy with elite cardio. Neither is Brunson, but I think both these guys kind of slow down, and Brunson has more experience in longer fights, 5-round fights, higher level competition fights. So I think it's either a dog or pass at plus 200 odds. I would never bet to Plessis at over like minus 240, minus 250. But as a pick, I'm going to pick Du Plessis just because the age, where they're both at in their career, and just Derek Brunson's his history of getting caught and getting finished up out of nowhere, and then Du Plessis' opportunistic finishing ability. I think that all kind of lends towards Du Plessis probably getting a finish at some point in this fight. So I think Brunson's going to be winning the fight, and then he's ended up going to get either caught in a guillotine, submitted for the first time, or clipped and taken out again by TKO KO. So I'm going to go with Du Plessis. I'm going to say ends up getting a finish in the second or third.